I could do any face, voice, whatever. I could even be a woman.
You think we need one more? You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
Fast break! Fast break! Hit me, Chief! Hit me, baby! Put it in the basket, Chief!
And we are back with another episode of the most quotable films of all time. And I'm so excited about this one because not only do I think this is possibly the most quotable movie of all time, but it's one of my favorite comedies. It's one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I saw this 3 times in the theater when it came out, so I was way ahead of this being a cult classic, which it now deservedly is. And I'm talking about Office Space. Yes. This guy's not as excited. I know you're not as big a fan of this movie, so this will be interesting.
I just don't get the humor.
Yeah, it's its own brand of humor. Mike Judge is he's on another planet, I think. This and Idiocracy and any of his movies are I mean, this is the man who created Beavis and Butthead, so that tells you right there. But yeah.
I never watched that either.
Yeah, you for sure would not like that. So all right, let's get right to it. So I'll start us off since this is one of my faves.
Okay.
This was extremely hard to whittle down to 5, but my number 5 I think gives away a lot of the plot of this movie. It's when Peter is on technically his first date with Jennifer Aniston at Chotchkie's, and he says she's asking him what he does for a living, and he starts telling her, and then he says,
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
You're just not gonna go?
Yeah,
Won't you get fired?
I don't know, but I really don't like it, and I'm not gonna go.
So you're gonna quit?
Nuh-uh, not really. I'm just gonna stop going.
When did you decide all of that?
About an hour ago.
Really?
Yeah,
About an hour ago. So you're gonna get another job?
I don't think I'd like another job.
Well, what are you gonna do about money and bills and...
You know, I've never really liked paying bills. I don't think I'm gonna do that either.
so I had to have that whole interaction because it's great. So what's your number 5?
My number 5 is something that Milton was saying. Actually, I think Milton is my favorite character.
Yeah, he's so
He's
great.
like whiny and like he can't stick up for himself.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I can't say it the way that he says it.
Right.
But I was told that I could listen to the radio at a reasonable volume from 9 to 11.
Yeah, no, I know you're allowed to. I was just thinking maybe like a, personal favor.
Well, I told Bill that if Sandra's going to listen to her headphones while she's falling, then I should be able to listen to the radio while I'm collating. So I don't see why I should have to turn down the radio because
all right, okay.
I enjoy listening at a reasonable volume.
Thanks.
From 9 to 11.
Yes. Gotta love Milton, man. And he actually, you probably don't know this, the whole movie came to be because Mike Judge made these animated sketches about just Milton and the interaction between him and Lumbergh. So Milton is really the heart of the movie. So I'm so glad that you have him on here. I could not get him on my top 5 because there's so many characters I love in this movie, and he's definitely one of the best. But yeah, excellent pick there. I don't know if you have more Milton going forward or not, but
Yeah, I do.
okay. We'll get to that then. Well, my number 4, speaking of other great characters, is the IT guy Michael Bolton, and him talking to Samir, explaining why he hates his own name, and it starts with Samir saying, "There is nothing wrong with that name," and he says,
There was nothing wrong with it until I was about 12 years old, and that no-talent ass clown became famous and started winning Grammys.
Well, why don't you just go by Mike instead of Michael?
No way. Why should I change? He's the one who sucks.
like, I just love that little plot line of him hating his name as Michael Bolton. It's so great. So what's your number 4?
All right. Well, this is when they found out that the amount of money that they made is way too much, and now they're going to get like in trouble. So now they're going, well, maybe we should money launder.
Right.
And then Peter says,
I can't believe what a bunch of nerds we are. We're looking up money laundering in a dictionary.
Yeah, that's great. See, I'm telling you, like, there's so many good quotes in this movie, and then like where they're actually the guy comes over to I think that's the same scene where the guy rings the doorbell and then he's gonna rat them out about. I mean, it's so good. Excellent quote. All right, so now my number 3. So many characters in this movie. This is a character who's in the movie for like less than 5 minutes, but he steals the show when he comes over to them and he says, his name is Drew, I think, and he says he's going to take the lady from logistics to the company party, and then he says,
things go well, I might be showing her my O face. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Oh.
I have no idea what that even means.
So great. I love it. So all right. So what's your number 3?
All right, so this Tom, and
Tom Simkowski.
Yeah. And he was in an accident, and he's getting $1 million for it.
Right.
So he's in a full body cast, and he says,
"Just remember, if you hang in there long enough, good things can happen in this world. I mean, look at me."
Thanks, Tom.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, obviously the visual to go along with it,
right?
But so classic. I love Tom, and one of my honorable mentions is his rant that happens with the 2 Bobs when they're asking him.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
Ah, okay, nice. Which starts with one of the Bobs saying, "What would you say you do here?" Which is just that alone is so great, because like they're building up, asking him all these questions, like, and it's obvious he does nothing. So but then his rant is just brilliant. So yeah, let's show that right now. Your number 2.
What would you say you do here? Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the goddamn customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
I knew that would be on your list, because I mean, it's like, it reminds me of like Lewis Black stand-up comedy or something, that whole rant. So classic. And then he just like storms out and he knows he's gonna get fired. So awesome stuff. All right, so my number 2 is another character that is just a side character, but he's so great in every scene, and that's the neighbor, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think it's like Lewis or something. And he asks him, "What would you do if you had $1 million?" And he looks at him with a straight face and says,
"I'll tell you what I'd do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man."
It's just so great. And the scene goes on to it's another hilarious quote by the end of it, but that I think is just absolute classic.
Yeah, that and the reason why was because women like money.
Dudes with money, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. But then after that, he says, uh Peter tells him he would do nothing. And then he says, "Nothing, huh? Well, you don't need $1 million to do nothing. Look at my cousin. He's broken. He don't have shit," or something like that. Or he don't do anything. It's so great. So what's your number one?
All right, my number one is Milton's other big line.
Yes.
And that
so
was my number one because he did exactly what he said.
Yes, he definitely did. And that's a perfect number one. I can't fault you for putting that. And I love too that it has within it that whole line about the squirrels and they were merry. Like it's so ridiculous. But yeah, that's great. So my number one, because my favorite character is the nemesis of Bill Lumbergh. And I've had bosses just like this, by the way. I just had to have him saying,
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great. Okay? Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm also gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday, too, okay?
and it's just the way he always starts every sentence with, yeah, like just the way he talks is so great. And Gary Cole, the actor, nails it. So yeah, this is going to be great. So we have nothing in common once again, but fantastic picks. I mean, there's so many honorable mentions. Of course, all the Milton stuff I was going to say that you've already said. There's also a great line when he meets the two Bobs, the consultants, the first time, or maybe the second time, when they say, "It looks like you've been missing a lot of work." And Peter says, "I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob." Yeah. And then, of course, there's the whole thing with the case of the Mondays that the annoying lady at the office says. And then the waiter from Tchotchkes also says, so great, man. Did you have any other honorable mentions?
Yeah, well, Michael says something like, "We get caught laundering money. We're not going to white collar resort prison. No, no, no. We're going to federal pound me in the ass prison."
Yes. That's excellent. And then I love too how Peter is having a nightmare later and they're in court and he's getting sentenced to a federal pound me in the ass prison. I mean, just great. Oh, and when they're the three of them are talking in their kitchen about what they're gonna do, and they say, "We can't tell anybody about this," and then you hear Lewis go, "Don't worry, man, I won't tell anybody either," because he can hear through the walls.
And then there was another Milton one when it's the boss's birthday and they're getting the cake.
The cake.
And like he was ready to eat one. The woman tells him to pass it.
Right,
so
right.
he just keeps passing. And then he's like getting to the end and he's going, "The ratio of people to cake is too big."
Yeah, just the way he mumbles, like you can barely make out what he's saying, but it's so brilliant. I love that actor too. Like I can't remember his name, but he's in so many I think he's in like almost every Coen Brothers movie. Stephen Root, that's his name. He's fantastic. Just all these characters. But
And then another one was in the beginning when Peter's at the psychiatrist. And Peter goes, "So I was sitting in my cubicle today and I realized ever since I started working, every single day of my life has been worse than the day before it.
Right.
So that means that every single day that you see me, that's the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
And then the doctor goes, what about today? Is today the worst day of your life? And Peter just goes, yeah.
And then the doctor goes, man, that's messed up.
It's messed up.
Right before he dies of a heart attack.
I know.
So ridiculous. Oh, the only other character we didn't include is Samir, which he has some good, like a couple good meltdown moments. And I also love how just the way he talks in the movie, like when he's just in normal conversation, like talking about asking out Jennifer Aniston, and he's like, why don't you just ask her out? Like the way Samir talks is great. And they all get mad at the printer, obviously. And then there's the classic scene where they destroy the printer in a field with a baseball bat. I remember seeing that in the theater and hearing people like just roaring with laughter at that scene, which I still do. And the choice of Mike Judge to use almost all 90s gangster rap as the soundtrack for this movie is just an amazing choice that I think pays off in every way. So now let's put it together. So I think Milton's got to be number one, that you're number one. So Lumberg will be number two.
Yeah, that's a good 1-2 punch right there.
Yes. And then I'll give you Tom's Rant at 3, because that's classic. And then 4 will be Two Chicks at the Same Time. This is great. So now 3, it's between Tom again with the Just Remember, or the O Face, which we've already got a Tom, so I think we got to have O Face on there. Drew, which he shows up later in the dream where Bill Lumberg is having sex with Peter's girlfriend, and you see him saying, "Oh, oh, oh." So that explains a little bit what it means.
Oh, okay.
O for orgasm, I believe. But anyway, that's a great top 5, man. I gotta say, even though there's so many we left off, obviously, but here now are the top 5 Office Space quotes according to 3 and 4 right now.
Things go well, I might be showing her my O face. Oh, oh, oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
I'll tell you what I'd do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man.
What would you say you do here? Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the goddamn customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great. Okay? Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm also gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday, too, okay?
But I said I don't care if they lay me off either, because I told Bill that if they move my desk one more time, then I'm quitting. I'm going to quit. And I told Dom too, because they've moved my desk 4 times already this year, and I used to be over by the window and I could see the squirrels, and they were married, but then they switched from the swing line to the Boston stapler. But I kept my swing line stapler because it didn't bind up as much, and I kept the staples for the swing line stapler.
Okay, Milton.
And oh no, it's not okay, because if they make me, if they take my stapler, then I'll set the building on fire.
Yeah. Oh. Classic. So all right, now we got to move on, as much as I could talk about Office Space until we're blue in the face, to the most quotable movie, starting with the letter P. This is gonna be tough, man.
Yeah, there was a lot of decent ones.
Oh yeah. So you want to start us off? Your number 4?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's my number 4.
Is
Nice.
it really?
Yeah. Wow, we are in tune on this one. All right, what's your 3?
Predator, 1987.
That's my 2.
That's your 2.
We are in tune here. Great pick, man. Oh man, I kind of hope that wins actually. Then we could have Mikey back on too. Okay, what's your number 2?
The Producers.
That's my 3. We might have the exact same list, just slightly different order. That's
I don't
amazing.
think you have my number 1 now.
Okay, what is it?
The Princess Bride.
No, sadly I do not. That was an honorable mention for me. My number 1 is Pulp Fiction. I mean, it's so quotable. All right, so we almost. Oh man, so that means Planes, Trains, and Automobiles won't be one of the 4 options, but that's okay.
Well, we both had it.
Yeah, but we got Pulp Fiction, Princess Bride, Producers, and Predator. And I mean, if you want to give them 5 options, that could make it interesting.
Well, we could do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Since there are so many great movies that start with
And
the letter
maybe
P.
we won't have a runaway.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
It was actually, this last vote was pretty, for a little while, it was neck and neck with Cuckoo's Nest and Office Space, but then somehow, like in the middle of the week, Office Space pulled ahead and won with a significant lead. But
yeah, I also had Poltergeist, Police Academy, Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one.
Okay.
And Patch Adams.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, Robin Williams makes anything
Right.
quotable. So, all right. Well, here are your 5 options for the most quotable movies, starting with P: Pulp Fiction, The Princess Bride, The Producers, Predator, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Great choices. So you know what to do. Vote either in the comments below or on Johnny Radio. You can vote on the poll there and we'll see what happens. But great episode as always, and we'll see you on the next one. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.